trusting in ourselves and trusting that we have the answers, that we know the things that we want to do. Like, we hear the nudges, we hear the whispers, and actually doing it, that's where you continue to build the trust. Because it's one thing to get the nugget and you're getting the thing in your head and you keep ignoring it. You keep ignoring it, and so you're never really getting the opportunity to be able to see the outcome of what happens if you actually listen to the nugget that you're getting. Hello, hello, hello. Oh my goodness. I just had to get on here because I need to get this message out. When we learn to trust ourselves, we are also trusting in the universe and we are trusting in God. When we listen to that inner voice and that inner knowing or that inner feeling, however it comes to you, when we listen to that and act on that accordingly, we are literally surrendering in that moment. We are putting our trust in ourselves, which again is putting our trust in God and universe. And we are allowing ourselves to live out the desires of our soul, which is God talking to us, the universe talking to us. We are literally living out our purpose when we trust ourselves. I just got through doing a coaching session, a practice coaching session, because I am in a program to become a Dharma and spiritual life coach. So every week we meet for a practice session. So we get to practice being a client, being a coach, and then someone is the observer. And so the observer gives feedback and the whole thing. So we do that every week so that we get practice in coaching. And I'd been feeling in general blocked. I've been talking about this. I've been feeling blocked. And part of the blocking is because I was being in my head too much and placing too many expectations on outcomes and holding attachment onto how I felt something was supposed to be, or how I felt I was supposed to be. And I relinquished control today, and it felt so natural, and I felt like I was vibrating so high in the moment. And I went into the session and I already had the thought of like wanting to be the coach today, because I've been kind of hiding. That's what I've been doing. And I'm kind of good at dodging and good at hiding. I've hid for a long time, so it's something I know how to do pretty well. And I was doing that. So I was kind of copping out by being the client or being the observer and not really allowing myself to be in that coaching space because I felt like I don't know how to do this, or like I'm not going to do it right, and like all of those things that start to come up. So today I was getting the nudge like, Michelle, you should coach today. You should do it. So the time comes, but they put us out into like breakout rooms. So you're working with just a group of 3 and we're figuring out, okay, who's going to be who. So I like volunteered and I'm like, I'll be the coach today. And then another person in the group volunteered to be the client. And before I started, I said to myself, Michelle, just do you, just be you. Don't overthink it. And I led with that, and oh my gosh, it was such a beautifully intuitive, natural moment. The whole entire experience of leading the session, I just went with what felt right. Like, whatever felt right to say in the moment or to do in the moment is just what I went with. And the feedback that I got from from the person who was the client in the session today, it was so affirming for me that I need to just trust myself. Like, it was so affirming. I knew the beginning framework as far as like setting up the session, which is to ground. And, that's great to do through breath or through like a quick guided meditation. And so that I knew I needed to do just to open up the container. And and we're talking and just kind of, talking through some stuff, and all of a sudden I get hit with a download like, you need to lead her through a visualization. And that was what I did. I asked her, I invited her to do this if she was open to it, and she was, and I led her through this visualization, which I have never done before. I just I just flowed with it. Whatever felt right to say is what I said. And after guiding her through the visualization, she said that I helped her work through a block that she'd been feeling for a long time in a way that was really safe for her. And that was like the most affirming thing that I could possibly hear, that someone felt safe being in my presence, and that I helped them work through a block, because blocks are really difficult. Blocks are hard to work through because you don't know what is causing the block, and you don't know what it is that you need to help you push through the block. You just know you're feeling it, and in feeling it, you just have to keep trusting, like just trusting that the universe is going to show it to you, is going to deliver it to you. And it felt really, really beautiful to be the medium that the universe used to allow her to work through her block. Like, I can't even put into words like how affirming that was and how beautiful the moment was. And it really reminded me of the need to trust, just trusting in ourselves and trusting that we have the answers, that we know the things that we want to do. Like, we hear the nudges, we hear the whispers, and actually doing it, that's where you continue to build the trust. Because it's one thing to get the nugget and you're getting the thing in your head and you keep ignoring it. You keep ignoring it, and so you're never really getting the opportunity to be able to see the outcome of what happens if you actually listen to the nugget that you're getting. And what I did in the moment is allowed myself to just be in my essence and to listen to myself and to act on the things that just came out and felt natural to do. And it proved to be extremely beneficial for this other human. And that really makes me feel good. That makes me feel really, really good. That just being myself was enough. I'm just really appreciative for all of the learning and the lessons and the integrations and embodiments and just all the things that really go into this process, and how the universe shows up for you exactly when it is that you need it. Because I needed this too. And that's what I said to her. I'm like, this was a beautiful experience of giving and receiving, because I was receiving in that moment too. Like, as I was guiding her through it, I felt her energy, I felt my energy, and I was really, really tapped in, and I just knew that what I was doing was right. Like, I just knew that it was right. It just felt right as it was coming out. And I knew when to stop. I just knew what to ask in the moment of when to ask it. And it really, again, just affirmed for me that trusting in yourself is the most loving thing that you can do for yourself. What better way to show yourself that you love yourself than to trust yourself? Because that means I trust my judgment. That means I trust my opinion. I trust my perspective. I trust my heart. I trust my mind, my thoughts. Like, I trust all of that, and I am surrendering to that trust and just allowing myself to be in its full expression, in its authentic, natural expression. So start trusting in yourself. Start believing in yourself. Start believing in your ideas. Start believing in your inner knowing. Start listening to it, and try some things out. You get a little thought in your mind like, I want to go for a walk. Go for the walk and just see what comes from it. That's also part of releasing the attachment to the outcome, or having expectations of what you think the outcome is supposed to be. That's also a part of learning to trust, is releasing and relinquishing the control. So when you get that thought of, I should go for a walk, again, listen to it, because you don't know what that walk may do for you, what thought may drop to your mind. Someone may call you on that walk. You may see someone on that walk. You may see something that inspires something else. Like, you just never know what could come from that experience, and what could come from that random thought that you have. That's your inner knowing. That's your intuition. And so I invite you to try listening to that a little bit more. And it doesn't have to be the super grand thing. It doesn't necessarily have to be, I'm going to quit my job and whatever. It really could be just as simple as, you should go take a walk. So keep that in mind, my loves. And I'll catch you next time.